Transmite en su canal de frecuencia modulada estereofónica multiplex La Voz Radio, desde New Haven, Connecticut, al mundo.
Buenas tardes. Aquí en vivo desde New Haven. Good afternoon. Es un placer estar aquí con ustedes con Juntos Podemos. Once again, here we are with Together We Can. Do not turn that dial because, as always, this is a bilingual show through La Voz Hispana Radio. And we have special guests today. Without further ado, some of you may have already heard of Pride and Prejudice. Does that ring a bell to folks? English author Jane Austen. Well, Pride and Prejudice is here in Hartford. You don't have to go to Old England because it is live in Hartford and with some amazing thespians. I learned that's the non-gender conformative word for actor or actresses. So I love saying that word, thespians. And we're so happy to have with us Hartford Stage marketing director marketing director of Hartford Stage, a beautiful jewel that is based in Hartford where many theater shows are shown, a beautiful space, and I've got the opportunity to see some back screen magic where they literally construct worlds within that building. And you're invited, for those of you who are listening, to partake in this theater production of Pride and Prejudice, which is happening now. Do not turn that dial. We're going to get to speak to one of the thespians of the show, along with hearing a little bit more about the production and Hartford Stage from Andrea Cuevas y María Adelag. ¿Cómo se lo dije bien? Okay.
María Gabriela González, sí.
Muy bien, bienvenidas a las dos. Aquí tenemos con nosotros a la persona encargada de comunicar con el público cada vez que el teatro Hartford Stage, basado en Hartford, tiene una obra. Y a que no se pierdan esta. Esta se llama Orgullo y Prejuicio. Mejor que cualquier telenovela que han visto porque va a estar en vivo y va a estar caliente. Hay una autora de Inglaterra y su nombre ya hace muchos años ya pasó. En 1813 escribió un libro sobre Orgullo y Prejuicio, y el contexto de la obra es de una familia con 5 hijas y ni un varón para poder mantener el dinero en la familia, entre la familia. Y de allí la mamá y el papá tienen poco tiempo para encontrar maridos a las 5 hijas para que nadie esté en pobreza. Y de allí es el contexto de esta obra, a que no se lo pierdan, pero vamos a aprender un poco más sobre la obra, el tema, y cómo es que estas dos latinas brillantes se dedican a lo que es las artes del teatro. Y pues no les quito el tiempo. Bienvenida Andrea y María González. Welcome, Andrea and Maria Gonzalez. Can't wait to hear more about what makes this Pride and Prejudice production so unique. Because 1813, that's a long time since this story has been in the minds and hearts of humankind, since 1813 by Jane Austen. What makes this production special? And other than the fact that it is in our hometown of Connecticut.
No, I love that you said telenovela before because this is very inspired by telenovelas. The director, Tatiana Maricarlo, is Puerto Rican. She grew up with telenovelas, she grew up with Cantinflas. So you'll see a lot of that influence in the beautiful work that she directed, that Maria is doing on stage, and all of those character portrayals.
Ay, qué lindo. ¿Cómo se llama de nuevo la directora?
Tatiana Maricarlo.
Tatiana Maricarlo fue inspirada por lo que ha visto en las telenovelas. Y eso cuando uno ve una, nunca se olvida. Y va a dar un gran brillo a esta historia viejísima desde 1813 y ha cultivado algo tan único, reemplazando algunas cosas con cosas latinas. Y Andrea acaba de contar de que uno puede ver Cantinflas, así va a ver también algo que uno de latino puede sentirse como, oh, yo he visto algo parecido porque lo ha visto en una telenovela.
Sí, aunque,
Quiere decir, ajá, sí, María.
sí, aunque la producción es en inglés, tiene muchos elementos de comedia, de sátira, todas las cosas con las que crecimos, no solamente en las telenovelas, pero en las parodias que hacemos de las telenovelas. Y esa idea de un poco explotar el mundo del drama y el romance y todo eso a algo un poquito más divertido y colorido para el público.
Yo quiero llamar a mi mamá, hay que ir a verla. Ya inscrita, voy a comprar los boletos.
Por favor, vengan, sí.
Sí, I'm ready to buy the tickets. I need to look at my schedule, change my schedule if I can't do it. I need to go because I think my mom would enjoy this. So with a little hint of comedy, satire, parody, romance, drama is what Maria shared. Is this version of Pride and Prejudice? So when is the production over? How long do we have before we can't buy the tickets? ¿Hasta cuándo podemos comprar boletos? ¿Cuándo paran la producción?
Bueno, nosotros ya oficialmente abrimos la obra el 20 de octubre y vamos a estar presentándola hasta el 5 de noviembre. Así que tenemos días en donde tenemos 2 funciones, así que hay muchas opciones de funciones para la comunidad. We go from October 20th, we opened till November 5th. And there's plenty of shows. We have, I think, about maybe 20-ish shows left. And we have some matinees, algunos por la tarde. We have other evening shows, algunos por la noche. So por favor, vengan y disfruten de esta obra tan divertida y tan bonita. It's a really fun and still a really touching and beautiful play. So please come and join us.
And the play is in English, but I have to say that just like a good telenovela, you know exactly why the woman is mad and why she hit that man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't have to understand the words.
No.
So you could feel it. So this is a great opportunity for the community to get together, family to get together and have some fun. Es una bonita oportunidad porque la verdad cuando uno ve una novela no tiene que entender las palabras porque el cuerpo son tan expresivos de que uno se va a divertir. Y también es bueno también practicar un segundo idioma y para mí el arte, teatro, producciones, películas, todo eso ayuda a comprender mejor situaciones y los modismos de lo que dicen en ciertas situaciones. Y la verdad, yo no aprendí español fuera de mi casa, no tuve la oportunidad y casi todo lo que conozco viene de mi mamá, mi papá y las novelas. Y de vez en cuando quiero decir una palabra y la mano se levanta. No. I was just sharing that with comedy, satire, the whole body speaks whatever the message that the words are trying to say. And so theater, movies are a great opportunity to learn another language, to practice that in a safe format where you start learning words that are used and terms that are used in a context, because the body says it all. So I was sharing that my parents taught me most of the Spanish that I know. And the third is Spanish soap operas. So when sometimes every once in a while, I might want to say something, and some reason my hand just wants to go and hit someone, because there's a lot of that in the Spanish soap operas. It's a great way to have fun watching this type of production. This is so exciting.
And Caprice, that makes me think too, to remind audiences that if they want to read captions while they're watching it, sometimes that's helpful when you don't know English and you need a little bit of assistance or something. We do have an open captioned performance on Sunday at 2 p.m. So tickets are available for that. It's a free service.
That's amazing. What time on Sunday?
The performance is at 2 p.m.
2
So you watch the show, and then right to the right of you, next to the stage, you can read along the words that they're all saying.
That's amazing. That's the one I'm going to take my mom to. I'm going to tell her whatever plans she has to change them.
I do the same thing. That's the performance my parents love coming to, because for as many years as they've been speaking English in this country, it's just nice to have a little bit of boost, a little support.
Exactly. Entonces el domingo a las 2 van a tener asistencia con español. Todo va a estar escrito, el diálogo, todo lo que están diciendo durante la obra de Orgullo y Prejuicio. Did I say that like the telenovelas? I hope I did.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a good voice for it.
Thank you. Sí, entonces voy a ver si puedo llevar a mi mamá el domingo a las 2. Hay que ir a verla. Y los boletos son, ¿cuánto? 20.
It's a whole range, so you can get a $30 ticket or a $100 ticket, depending on where you want to sit. We also have discounts for students. So if you have a student ID, you can get tickets at a discounted rate anytime, as well as different types of subscriptions. So if you're under 35, you could also see the show for as many times as you want. You could see all of the shows in the season for less than $100.
Amazing. I did not know that. I'm so happy. Hartford Stage is on the show today, because I know where I'm going to go, especially in the winter. I know that a lot of theater groups theater production companies were going hybrid during the time of COVID. What is your take on for this season? Will you also offer some online too, or just on stage in person?
Almost everything we're doing is on stage in person. We're bringing back that live experience and behind the scenes things even. But we do record some conversations online. So if you're thinking of coming and you want to test it out, maybe see a full conversation with the director and some cast members, you can explore that on our website. We have those videos before you come in person. Or if you can't come, but you still want to get the behind the scenes look a little bit.
And I'm vaccinated and ready to go.
Yes, theaters are surprisingly a very safe experience, because actually we have such a great air filtration system. People don't know this, but it's actually a very safe place in terms of germs or anything. We clean a lot.
Yes, I actually got to see behind the scenes the massive filtration system you have at Hartford Stage. It's probably one of the cleanest air, oxygen, H2O everything related to nature. I'm sure your water is cleaner in most places. So the air filtration system, it probably would cure asthma in Connecticut if we had it in all our buildings. where we have one of the highest rates of asthma in the East Coast, but yours is actually helping people live longer.
Oh, Caprice, that's so good to hear.
Yes. Yes, pues sin pena, pueden participar, pueden asistir. El teatro que se llama Hartford Stage tienen un gran sistema de filtración de aire que limpia el aire. En esta temporada desean tener participantes para que estén en persona, para poder ver las obras, para poder disfrutar una noche fuera de la casa. No hay que pensar, ay, ¿qué voy a hacer? Hay que lavar ropa y hay que hacer... Ay, olvídense de eso. Vayan a ver Orgullo y Prejuicio. Y los boletos a las 2 del domingo va a haber ahí para que uno pueda seguir en español. Igual como si uno estuviera enfrente de una pantalla. Pero va a poder ver la obra y ver ahí escritas las palabras en español para poder seguir las escenas y lo que está pasando. Y los boletos, Andrea acaba de contar, están de varios precios, empezando a $30 hasta $100, lo que uno puede pagar. Los estudiantes y personas de menos de 35 años también tienen descuento. Entonces, apúrese a comprar su boleto, no deje esperar esta gran oportunidad. Y más de todo, es una directora latina, actrices latinas también. María, parece que encontraste tu don en ser actriz, porque de lo que yo he visto, no cualquiera se sube ahí en el escenario de Hartford Stage. ¿Y cuándo es que supiste que querías ser una actriz? So before you answer that, I'm going to translate in English. Maria is one of the people producing this beautiful, beautiful show. We have a Latina director, and it's a perfect opportunity to support the Latino community by going to see the show. And I asked Maria, how did she find her gift of acting? What was her path? Because the folks who go on Hartford Stage are not novices. They have what they say in English, acting chops. They actually know what they're doing. So how did you find your path?
Bueno, todo empezó cuando yo era pequeña. Mi primera experiencia en el teatro era como bailarina. My first experience on stage was as a dancer. And eventually I discovered acting, descubrí la actuación. Film and TV, las películas, las series, las telenovelas o las soap operas en inglés. Fue como yo aprendí en inglés. Yo nací y me crié en Puerto Rico. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. And that's what I wanted to do. Eso era lo que quería hacer. Así que even though I majored in chemistry in college, yo estudié química primero, eventualmente terminé estudiando teatro acá en los Estados Unidos, hice una maestría. I did my master's in acting here in the United States, and that's actually how I met Tatiana, our director. Así fue como yo conocí a nuestra directora Tatiana. And so it's been a long journey. Ha sido un camino largo. I've done so many things and different things. He hecho tantas cosas variadas y diferentes, pero tengo que decir que esta ha sido, creo que, mi experiencia en el teatro más bonita y más fulfilling. It's been one of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful experience I've had in theater so far. Nuestra directora Tatiana no solamente tomó una obra que ya había sido adaptada, Kate Hamill fue la que escribió la adaptación de la obra de Jane Austen. Kate Hamill wrote this play based on Jane Austen's work. And then Tatiana did something that not a lot of people have done with this show. Tatiana hizo algo que no mucha gente ha hecho, which is take people from all different kinds of backgrounds and put them in a show where usually you would just get, maybe like white people or British people, or, you would see one kind of person on stage. And Tatiana tomó personas de distintos trasfondos culturales, los puso juntos en un escenario para demostrarle al mundo que todos podemos ser capaces de estar ahí, que todos podemos ser capaces de contar estas historias, que todos hemos estado en esa época contando esa historia, that we can tell these stories and see ourselves in these stories and have other people see themselves in these stories, which I think is brilliant. Y que otras personas puedan verse en estas historias, que todos podamos vernos en esos personajes, es una cosa maravillosa. Así que ha sido una experiencia muy bella. Estar en Hartford Stage, being in Hartford Stage is an absolute honor and a privilege. And I'm so happy to have been here. Estoy tan feliz de estar aquí con una compañía que nos cuida con tanto amor y con tanto cuidado, y de verdad le prestan mucha atención a hacernos sentir a nosotros y a la comunidad que viene a vernos incluidos y que nos sentamos representados. They really take such good care of us at Hartford Stage, and they really want to make sure that we feel seen and represented, as well as the community that comes to see us. So it's an honor and a privilege for me to be here doing the show.
Beautiful, Maria. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your performance in the play. I'm sure that I'm gonna Instagram friend you so I could follow your career trajectory, because I am in awe. I'm listening to you speak in Spanish and English, and the sentiment is equally as strong in either languages, and you did it flawlessly. Like brilliant mind, and I'm looking forward to seeing this play.
And Caprice, if you thought that was beautiful, her British accent is also incredible too.
Hey, what kind of British accent? No,
Supposed to be RP, very posh.
Wow.
Así como de clase alta, la gente así que caminaba así con sus corsets y,
Que María está hablando en inglés y en español de misma calidad, mismo nivel de expresión, y fue, yo creo que tiene una mente brillante, y Andrea dijo, pues tenés que escuchar su acento en inglés. de la ¿cómo se dice? La clase high, algo así. Dicen en español, no me recuerdo bien.
La clase, como la clase alta de Inglaterra, de ese acento así, lo que llaman ese acento viejo de cómo hablaba la gente antes, así.
Mi mamá dice sangre azul.
Sangre azul.
Tiene otra sangre.
Pues, ¿cuál es la página de web que podemos entrar para comprar los boletos? Para los que nos están escuchando, no se preocupen, pueden entrar en la página de Facebook y tomar nota de lo que nos van a contar en cómo comprar los boletos. So, how do we buy the tickets? What's the website? And for those who are listening, do not fear. You could always go to La Voz Hispana de Connecticut on Facebook to watch again today's show and take note of where and how to purchase these tickets. Until November 5th, is the opportunity to purchase. So, ¿qué nos puede decir, Andrea? ¿Cómo podemos entrar a comprar?
You can go to hartfordstage.org That's our website for the theater, and we have all of the shows that are coming up, every performance of Pride and Prejudice listed there.
Pues pueden entrar en la página internet de el nombre del teatro, que se llama el teatro de Hartford, Hartford Stage. Y ahí vamos a tener la información en nuestra página aquí del show en Facebook. Y esta obra se llama Pride and Prejudice, Orgullo y Prejuicio.
Y hasta el 5 de noviembre nomás. Only
Al
until
5
November 5th.
de noviembre. Pues, Andrea, te conocí unos años atrás.
Sí.
Y trabajas fuertísimo. Y trabajas apoyando el talento del teatro a que la comunidad tenga la oportunidad de ser entretenidos, de contar las historias que hay que contar. Y para mí, el arte motiva al ser humano a ser una persona mejor. Con Orgullo y Prejuicio, ¿cuál es el tema que aportaría el mejoramiento del ser humano? And so, Andrea, I know we met a couple of years back, and I know you as a very hard worker, and you work very hard in supporting the arts and giving the community the opportunity to get entertained. And I find the arts to also be not just entertaining, but an opportunity for the evolution of humanity. It really often has a rich jewel to offer us. And so what is this production of Pride and Prejudice's rich jewel that is offering us?
I would say there's two. And Maria, feel free to add more, because you've been in a lot of conversations like this too with Tatiana and the cast members, what it means to them. But for us, we were really looking for a show that would bring people joy, that would bring people a lightness that we sometimes struggle with because our days are hard. Living in this pandemic world is really, really challenging. And so when we want to go to the theater, sometimes we just want to be entertained, we want to be lightened, we want to share a moment, an experience with a loved one. And that's what coming to the theater and seeing something like Pride and Prejudice can do. And then the other part that we really love about this is that we're taking a classic story, a novel that a lot of people have read, and we're looking at it in a new way. We're introducing new themes just by the way it was casting, just by the costume designers that were chosen, by the colors that we're using. So it's saying that you can see yourself in this story. It doesn't have to be just for the people that it was originally maybe written by and for. It is actually for everybody.
Beautiful. María, ¿quieres agregar?
Sí, estoy de acuerdo con Andrea, el poder tener una obra con la que nos podamos divertir, no solamente nosotros como actores, pero también la audiencia que va a vernos. Necesitamos cosas livianas, cosas que nos recuerden que el disfrute y la alegría y la esperanza están todavía presentes en tiempos tan difíciles. Something that sparks joy and happiness and hope in difficult times is always something that, you know, is welcomed and is beautiful. What Andrea said about representation, sobre la representación, means a lot to us, because us as performers getting the privilege to step into these roles that would maybe not otherwise be cast this way. I don't know if I had ever even thought about being cast as Jane Bennett, because maybe that wasn't, you know, something that I thought was for me. Y tener la oportunidad de hacer un rol como Jane Bennett, que pues no pensé que era alcanzable para mí, es un honor y un privilegio. Así que, y también for those people who are hardcore Jane Austen fans to see how her world can explode in such a beautiful, colorful way and still maintain the main storylines and maintain the main themes throughout. And for those who don't know her, to discover her in such a fun way, para esas personas que son fanáticos de Jane Austen, saber que la historia principal está ahí, que los temas principales están ahí, pero de una forma divertida, colorida, el romance está ahí, el amor está ahí, los conflictos están ahí, pero todo explota en un mundo divertido y colorido. Y para los que no conocen el trabajo de Jane Austen, introducirse, presentarse ese mundo de una forma tan divertida y tan inclusiva, un privilegio para nosotros y lo decimos todo el tiempo. It's a privilege for us and we talk about it all the time, how fortunate we feel to be doing this. So.
And Jane Austen was ahead of her time. It was a time when women they were meant to be seen, not heard, where they were meant to conform to her husband's opinion was her opinion. In a time where women were meant to go off and get married, and she was a book author, and her protagonists were women. It was really a look at the lives of women in those times. So she gave voice where women were meant to be silent. Mm-hmm. So what a beautiful play that can support uplifting, saying presente to those that have been denied casting opportunities, that we're here, right? We also count. We also have stories, and we also know machismo.
Como tú dijiste, we know, if we know the telenovelas, si sabemos las telenovelas, then we know these stories.
Exactly.
Conocemos esta historia.
Exactly.
They might have known they might have known them through Jane Austen, and we knew them through like Mariela del Barrio, or I don't know, like so.
It's just characters that want to be loved and experience the happiness for their family. They want to make sure that they're being supported and seen, and that's something we can all relate to also.
Mm-hmm. Que la autora de esta novela, Jane Austen, 1813, era un tiempo durante la época en la Inglaterra, donde las mujeres tenían que no más ser propiedad de su marido, y no tenían su propia opinión, no podían tener su propia opinión, y tenían que casarse bien, ¿verdad? Jane Austen decidió ser una autora, y fue un tiempo que las mujeres, ese no era el papel, el rol de ellas, y ella igual escribió varios libros, este es uno de ellos, trayendo la luz, la realidad de la mujer, y darle voz a la realidad de la mujer en un mundo machista. Y estamos hablando de que muchas personas pueden entender el mundo machista, porque lamentablemente todavía vivimos en el mundo machista. That a lot of people can relate to machismo in society because we still live in a predominant patriarchal society. But without going in deep in that level, go have fun. And so, Andrea, before we leave, what other productions do you have in the pipeline that you might be able to share?
Yeah, we have a Christmas Carol coming up in December. That is a big tradition in Hartford, in this region of Connecticut, too, where families come. They've been coming for years. I think we're celebrating 25 years of A Christmas Carol. So it's going to be a really, really special return. It's really, really fun, big production. There's all kinds of elements. So it's a different type of joy than Pride and Prejudice, whereas Pride and Prejudice kind of brings that slapstick funny sometimes. But Christmas Carol is heartwarming, and it's a story that a lot of people know. So that's coming up in December. And then in January, we kick off 2024 with a play called Simona's Search. It is a world premiere play by Martin Zimmerman. He is an incredible Latina playwright. He is actually a writer for Ozark on Netflix, so some people know him from that. And it's a story of a woman discovering about herself through her father's identity and him coming from Latin America, a sort of vague Latin American identity, because we all relate to this. So it's applicable to so many people's personal experiences. And how she has been impacted by his past and things that he experienced, escaping from a world or having that be a part of his story, and how that's now playing into her story as she's discovering through herself. So I know that's something that we've talked about and we identify with. So I can't even imagine how many more people will relate to that too.
Yes. And just a quick question, which ones of these are child friendly?
So Christmas Carol, definitely child friendly. That is, we love, there's so many young kids coming to that. So that's definitely great. And for the other plays too, there's nothing that is child unfriendly. It really is just a matter of, your kid, will they have the stamina to sit through a play? Pride and Prejudice is long, but it moves so freely that it doesn't feel like that. So it's up to your kid. And we always have our lobby spaces where you can sit if you need a break from sitting inside too. So we see some families do that.
Oh, great. Pues hay más obras. Va a haber otro nuevo en diciembre, Christmas Carol, sobre el tema de Navidad, y muchos acá en los Estados Unidos conocen ese cuento. También yo creo que es con una familia de pobreza y todas las paredes que tienen que enfrentar, y un empleador que tiene mucho dinero, riqueza, pero pobreza de corazón. Y es un camino en la vida de él, en cómo abre su corazón, ¿verdad? Bien lindo, para también de todas edades, todas estas obras, bienvenidos. Y las familias saben a qué nivel de atención los niños pueden prestar para una obra, y también tienen una sala donde pueden pasar ahí descanso para de ahí renovar la atención de los niños en la obra si es necesario. Pero lo de esta obra de Orgullo y Prejuicio, tienen suficiente tiempo. El tiempo pasa bien rápido, de que puede ser que los niños no se cansen, que pueden ser entretenidos. Y también con lo de Christmas Carol, y en enero muchos han visto, porque han traducido el show Ozark. El escritor, yo no sabía, acabo de aprender. Yo soy fanática de Ozark, y Martin Zimmerman, un latino, escribió mucho sobre lo de Ozark, y él escribió una obra que va a estar aquí en enero con Hartford Stage, que se llama Simona's Search, la búsqueda de Simona. Un cuento, si puedes decirlo de nuevo, ¿de qué se trata en español, Andrea?
Sí, claro. Es sobre una mujer joven que tiene curiosidad sobre su vida, su historia, y un día descubre más sobre su papá y el impacto de que las historias que ha vivido su papá, que ha crecido en Latinoamérica, ha venido a Estados Unidos, pero que él tiene unas experiencias que genéticamente, ¿no? La trama pasamos a nuestros hijos, y aunque ellos no sepan toda la historia, vive en nosotros, ¿no? Entonces es un poco de eso, es de su experiencia, de la experiencia de su papá, y cómo usando ciencia aprende un poco más de ella misma.
Pues qué bonito, también tengo que ir a ver eso. Pues ya se nos terminó el tiempo, y mil gracias, Andrea, mil gracias, María, y espero poder verlas pronto. ya hoy mismo compro mis boletos. Thank you so much, Andrea and Maria, for your time and your talent, both of you, and what you're offering the world. And I could always use comedic levity. So I look forward to laughing. And I actually saw this another thing on TV, Blue Zone, saying laughter is one of the secret ingredients to a long and happy, healthy life. So thank you for giving us more of that. Mil gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Y sí, han comprobado científicos que poder reírse que ayuda al cuerpo a sanarse. Entonces, gracias por promover largas vidas llenas de salud y humor. Y nos vemos, espero verlas. Yo voy el domingo a las 2. Hasta la próxima. Y cualquier proyecto que las dos de ustedes desean compartir con la comunidad, aquí estamos para servirlas. Y mil gracias a todos por escucharnos. Thank you all for listening here on WNHH 103.5 FM, live from New Haven. And I cannot wait to go see Pride and Prejudice at Hartford Stage. Have a beautiful day, folks. Take care.
Gracias.